Moving along to our daily face-off inbox question, which is brought to you by our friends over at PointsBet and PointsBet Canada, which is live now in Ontario. This one came into us on Twitter using the hashtag AskDFOMike, and the initial question was asked, could the Islanders be a potential fit for a guy like Alex DeBrincat? It came in from Michael. He's an Islanders fan. He wants them to make a big splash. What do you think of the idea of the Islanders potentially making that splash with DeBrincat? And also, where are some other potential landing spots for the Blackhawks forward?
Well, if the Islanders are going to have to do it, they're going to have to move somebody. And I basically look at Beauvillier first off. I mean, he's on our trade targets list that Frank Seravalli's put out recently. And I think you'd have to create space in New York for that to happen. And I love to brink it as a player. I'm not sure with Lou Lamoriello if that would be the route he would go, but all bets are off there. Other teams I would look at, I mean, everybody, New Jersey's in the mix for everything with their cap space that
Yeah.
they have. And I think Philly would love to make a splash and grab a 40 plus goal scorer like DeBrincat. But you mentioned a team earlier when we were talking about players, and that was the Los Angeles Kings for Fiala. Well, I think the Kings would be in on DeBrincat as well. And for the reasons you mentioned, the Kings have first round of picks the next 3 seasons. They have a young talent pool to draw from if necessary. I think I could see Los Angeles easily being in the mix here for Alex DeBrincat.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Islanders. I think they kind of have their own business they need to take care of first. We mentioned a guy like Noah Dobson. He's an important piece of that core. He needs a new deal, and the Islanders would have to shed some salary as well, which means either you got to make some other deals first, or you probably have to pay a little bit more to get the Blackhawks to take those deals. If I'm the Hawks, though, does it not make more sense to probably just wait until after something like the Kevin Fiala deal is done? We just in us talking, we're kind of mentioning the same teams interested in
Yeah, it
DeBrincat
is.
that'd be interested in Fiala as well. So wait until that deal's done. I think you can make the argument the Hawks have the better player. I mean, DeBrincat's a 40 goal guy pretty much every year he's been in the league here. It makes sense, I think, if you're the Hawks, to just sit back and go, let's see what the market does, and let's see if any of these teams get a little sweaty after they miss out on Fiala.
Yeah, especially because this is almost similar to the Brandon Hagel sweepstakes, where if you're the GM Kyle Davidson of the Chicago Blackhawks, you can sit on DeBrincat a bit and you can wait for that best offer. It's not a pressing issue. So I agree with you with the timing of it. Fiala might hold the keys to the market here, but considering what DeBrincat's worth, man, it'd be kind of surprising to not see him be moved before next season.
Yeah, it would be surprising, and you mentioned it. They don't have to deal him, which is fascinating. It's not like he's a guy who's demanded his way out of the organization or a guy who said he's going to sit out next year if he isn't moved. So I even think the Hawks could wait until after the first or second day of free agency. Start going to some of these teams who maybe thought they had a shot at Johnny Gaudreau or thought they had a shot at Philip Forsberg, and a GM who's itching, feels like he needs to improve his team. You might be able to get an even better return for DeBrincat 2 weeks from now, I think.
I love the poker of it, man. You're thinking ahead here, Tyler, but it's all true. I think that we can't really predict a timeline with DeBrincat, but boy, he's got an awful lot of value. So if you're Kyle Davidson, you've got to think hard about that and the rebuild that's going on in Chicago.
The other thing, if you're a contender, you're looking at a guy who scored 40 goals, whose cap hit is only $6 million next year. And I know eventually he's going to need a new deal, and that next deal will be expensive. But man, if you're the Hawks and you're willing to even keep half of it just for this upcoming season, think how long the list would grow of teams that could potentially, or who would be sitting there going, damn, we can squeeze this guy into our lineup now and he can help us win now.